Hey everybody, this is the final lesson of our fourth course, and we're just going to kind of have some fun, play around with SDL, which is a simple direct media layer, something like that. Let me pull up the website here for you. It's like, I think it's libsdl something. Yeah, just libsdl.org. Simple direct media layer. Yeah. So it's a framework or a library written in C that gives you low-level access to audio, keyboard, mouse, joystick, and graphics. So via OpenGL and Direct3D. It's used for, as you can see here, for Valve's and many Humble Bundle games. It's used a lot for games. DOSBox and ZSNES, if you're familiar with those two emulators, they both use SDL. It's pretty well known, and it's a good product, and it's free. It's open source and everything, which is awesome. So anyway, you can download that. There's a link here, for downloading. We're gonna the thing I have used is SDL2. So you can follow whatever. If you have Linux, I'm on Ubuntu here, and I think there's an Arch repository for it too. I'm not sure about Fedora. I'd imagine Fedora has something too. So, but if not, you can always do a sudo make all. Download the source code. Do sudo./configure. Sorry, let me go through that steps slower. So you download the source code, then you're going to cd into the directory where the source code is at, and you should see like a make file in there. And you want to do sudo/.configure, and then you want to do sudo make all, and then sudo make install, and that'll install it from source for you. But since I have Ubuntu, I'm just gonna go sudo apt install. Geez, I'm gonna have to. Let's just try libsdl2 or something. I think it's libsdl2-dev. See if I was right. I think I was right. And while that's installing, I'm going to go to the GitHub page here. So this is on my GitHub. I didn't make this. I wouldn't use the F word. Sorry. I would not use that. It's just a fork of something else that I used for something completely different. But it's a cool site if you ever want to see what a good website is. Anyway, it's this repository here, G4 SDL Game Starter. And there's just two files in there, SDL2 FS. There might be a license file in there by the time you get anything. Maybe a README file, just giving some steps on how to use it, like how to install SDL2 and then how to install GeForce maybe or something. Anyway, let's download this. We'll just download the zip file. Just save it to downloads. Yeah, that's fine. And we'll open it up, show in folder. And we will extract it to here. Okay, so now we have our folder. It's just got the two files in it. So let's go back to the terminal. Actually, let me show you these files. So the game file is the game starter, where this just gets you a window. It opens up a game window and leaves it open for 1,000, I think it's milliseconds, and then it closes out. These are comments, like the darker stuff, and then like with the slashes, and then the rest is fourth. This is fourth, this is fourth. So that's the game, and then this is the SDL2 bindings, and this is why there might be a license in there, because I think this is under the GPL2 license. It's from Fourth Boy. I borrowed it or adapted it from Fourth Boy, which is that other project I showed you a video or two ago, a couple videos ago. But basically, this is how you access C functions from Fourth. You use the C function word, and then you put the name of what you want your function to be, and then the name of the C function, or maybe those are the other way around. And then you put what gets input into the function and what is output from the function. So what the parameter that you feed into the function, and then the parameter, and then what the function returns. And you just put the type, like N means number, A means anything else. I don't know. I can't remember what A means, but basically, if it's not a number, if it's a string or something, then use A. But you can see here, there's a lot of the basic and SDL functions here. These are the ones that you need, like create window, and these are the ones that you're going to need to make a game. So we have those. Let's see if SDL2 installed yet. Yeah. So that's installed. So now we just will, you want to get into the folder where you have where we have that. So let's see. CD to G4 -SDL -game starter -master. All right. So we're in there. Our files are in there. So then to load the files into Fourth, you just do G4, and then we want the SDL2 first, and then game.fs. So those are the two files that they're just gonna automatically load up when the Fourth interpreter starts. Okay, so I thought maybe that would happen too. I think we need SDL1 also. Let me just make sure I didn't. Yeah, because this worked on my other system. What was that? NC library, yeah. So let's get SDL1 also. So sudo apt install lib SDL-dev. I'm just guessing here. Might have to do some real-time troubleshooting here too, because I have not installed this or run this on this system yet. So libtool not found. All right, so we just Google libtool not found. Okay, so maybe let me just try this. Sudo apt install libtool. This is a virtual machine. Otherwise, I'd probably be a little bit more careful, but it's a virtual machine, so it doesn't really matter. I like doing programming in virtual machines. It's a lot safer, and you can make copies of the virtual machine. So you can create like your original copy after, like you can make an image of your virtual machine after you've installed all your applications that you like to use for programming on it. And then no matter which computer you're on, you can use that virtual machine, and you can, whatever, for every project you're doing, if it's a little bit different, you might need to install different dependencies or something, or install different things. You can use a different virtual machine with that same base image, so it still has all your software and stuff on it. So highly recommend doing that. I like doing that. But anyway, do whatever you want. Libtool not found. Okay. Libtool installed but not on. Okay, so someone had the similar issue when they were trying to install Apache, and I'm just following some stuff from Stack Overflow. So just a second. It's libtool-bin, maybe that's why. Okay. Now let's try it. This is programming. All right, there it was. That was it. All that for that. But let's do that again. So you'll see this little window come up. You see the window? Just for a short amount of time. And we can adjust that amount of time here. So we'll do that, and then just so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on here. Let me actually just walk you through this file a little bit. So require, that's just saying, you know, you have to make sure that, that's like saying load in the SDL2 library, basically. The file that we're using for the library. This is used just to make things work with C. There's a weird, I think it's when you put strings through to C, there's like a weird character in there or something that you need that Forth doesn't have or something like that. As you can see, this just sets the screen to a little 640 by 640. We could make that bigger, like 19. No, we don't want it that big. Let's make it like 6400 by 6400. Let's try that. And then this is the window title. This is that little window that pops up. There's a renderer that renders that window. This is how we initialize it. Window title. So this is that, where was that window title? Variable window title. That is just says game name. So we're saying make a window with a named game name. Well, we're putting game name on the stack. Then we put the screen width on the stack. Then we put the screen height on the stack. Then we put it might be the X and like the Y of the window. So yeah, that's something you can just kind of play around with, I guess. But and then this Sdl Create Window function takes all these things from the stack, and then that shoots out to C, to a, you know, the C compiler, and a value is returned to the stack. Then we put a -1 and a 0, so we have the value that's returned from this, plus we have -1 and 0, and that does the Stl Create Render. Let me show you kind of something else here too. So if you go to the SDL library website, sdl.org, you can go to the wiki, and any of these functions you can look up by name. Here we go, and you can go by category too, and that's probably more helpful if you're just trying to find a function you want to use. But which one did we have? Stl Create Render. So let's look that up. So let's do a find Stl_create render. There it is. And if you go into that, you can see these are what it takes as arguments. And then you can see what it returns. The return value returns a valid rendering context or null if there was an error. So it takes the window object, takes an integer that is the index of the rendering driver to initialize, or -1 to initialize the first one supporting. So we used -1 just to go for kind of with the default, and 0 because we don't have any rendering flags. So go back into that. So then it runs, and then what gets placed on the stack? What did that return? Oh yeah, the rendering context object basically gets placed on the stack. And then this SDL pixel format, or no, these are all just values that we're feeding into this. And the first value is going to be what was returned from this, from this. And then this one clears everything. And you want to do that every game loop. And you can look at you'll have to look at the SDL documentation to see, the suggestions on that. This is where I was trying to get just a little white pixel painted on the screen, but I couldn't quite get that working yet. But if I do get it working, I'll update that GitHub page. And then this presents the window, and then the window stays open for there's a delay there for 1,000 milliseconds, and then this destroys it. This destroys the window, and then we quit SDL. So that's what's going on. Oops, I just saved that. I don't even know what I changed. So run that one more time. There was, that's 640 by 640. Let's try that again. Did you see that window pop up in the bottom right? Okay, so the 640 by 640, I think, was maybe some other coordinate. And then let's try making this one. Oops. 640. Whoa. What is going on here? Oh man, my insert. Here we go. I hope I didn't mess something else up there. But we'll find out. There we go. That was a bigger window. So anyway, yeah, you can mess around with that. I just wanted to share that with you. And I think that's it. Just make sure you install SDL1 and SDL2, and you have GeForce installed already, and download the GeForce SDL game starter from my GitHub, and you got that, and you can kind of use my suggestion would be to mainly use the SDL wiki for your documentation. You can look up some tutorials and stuff too. There's a couple tutorials on using SDL with Forth, I think, especially like GeForce. I'm pretty sure there was, this Google Groups one I think is a good one. Maybe not. I don't know. You can check it out. So that's pretty much it, though. Thanks for watching. I'll do a conclusion video and just kind of wrap everything up. But experiment with that if you want, or do whatever you want with Forth. I hope you learned something, or at least had some fun. So thanks for watching. Peace out.